Hello, this is Xbox Ahoy, and this is the first episode of my Black Ops 2 attachment guide. In this episode, we're covering the Reflex Sight. The Reflex Sight takes its name from the Aimpoint-style sight seen in Black Ops, but in appearance and in function, it is the same as the red dot sight attachment first seen in COD 4. This attachment is available for most weapons. The SMGs, assault rifles, LMGs, shotguns, pistols, and the Crossbow all have this optic as an option. Its appearance is the same on most weapons, with the rounded rectangle lens shape first seen in COD 4. But on the handguns the design is slightly different, closer to the MW2 red dot sight design. The sight's effect is principally a visual one. It will replace your weapon's default iron sights with the Reflex Sight model, marking your point of aim with a red dot, and giving you a better view on target. It is a universal upgrade to your precision. The transparent reflex lens gives you a much better all-round view on your target when compared to the iron sights. Of course, this comes at a cost of an attachment slot and one of your pick 10 points, so some will prefer to use the iron sights and invest their points elsewhere. Other than the purely visual differences, the Reflex Sight can have an effect on a weapon's level of zoom while aiming. With the Reflex Sight equipped, you will always have a 1.35 times magnification level while aiming. This is the default zoom level for an assault rifle, so no change there, but other weapon classes will see a different zoom level when compared to their iron sights. The SMGs, shotguns, pistols and crossbow all have a lower default zoom, 1.2 times for all except for the pistols, which have an even lower default 1.1 times zoom. With the Reflex Sight equipped, you'll gain a slight zoom advantage with these weapons, to the Reflex's default zoom level of 1.35 times. The LMGs are slightly different. They have an innate zoom of 1.5 times with iron sights, and using the Reflex Sight will lower this default zoom to 1.35 times. The Reflex's standard reticle is the basic red dot, precise, simple, and unobstructed. For the most part, this is all you need. The other choices don't really offer much advantage beyond the cosmetic. These other options are unlocked via a series of challenges. 50 kills while aiming with the Reflex Sight will unlock the first of the alternate reticles, the Plus. Cruciform in nature and green in colour, this reticle offers greater target contrast but obscures more of your view. Next up, with 100 kills, the Blue Dot reticle, a small circle circumscribing your point of aim. This is fairly similar to the default and usable enough. 200 kills nets the Target Drop reticle, 3 vertical dots surrounded by a larger circle, with the top dot indicating your point of aim. 300 kills gives you the Valley reticle, a red dot similar to the default but with a V-shaped line underneath the target. 400 kills unlocks the Drop Shot reticle, 2 yellow vertical dots and a downward facing chevron, with the top dot indicating aim. Finally, 500 kills unlocks the Peak reticle, a red horizontal line with a chevron deviance marking your target. Once you've attained 500 kills whilst using the Reflex Sight, you'll open up another tier of challenges, each yielding a new, slightly less than serious reticle option. 25 headshots while aiming with the Reflex Sight will earn you perhaps the most jaunty of all the reticles, Steve. Appearing as a mighty amber moustache, carefully lining up this magnificent reticle will earn you the most dapper of headshots. The Smile reticle is unlocked with 20 double kills, and while this yellow smiley face is pretty terrible as far as your aim is concerned, you will earn your opponent's ire as they smile for the kill cam. 10 long shots with the Reflex Sight will unlock the Red Diamond reticle, surprisingly usable and only a minor variant of the default red dot. In any case, it suits those looking to deal accurate damage. Finally, 10 bloodthirsty medals with the Reflex Sight will earn the final reticle, the Predator. With 3 red dots, this sight mirrors the targeting device used in its namesake film. Usable enough, but it's one ugly target marker. Once you've unlocked all of these reticles, you'll receive the Reflex Sight Master Player Card and have the entire selection of reticles at your disposal. The Reflex Sight is a perpetually popular attachment that has seen frequent use across all of the Call of Duty titles. It is simple in effect, but its unobstructed view on target and high contrast indicator makes for a useful aid to your precision. More experienced players can perform just as well with the iron sights, but there's no shame in spending a point on making your weapon easier to use. While there's little real reason to use anything apart from the default red dot reticle, the other options are at the very least novel. Of course, accuracy comes with practice, but with the help of the optical attachments, precision is just a reflex away. Thanks for watching, this has been Xbox Ahoy. Join me for the next attachment guide when I'll be covering the quick draw handle. Until then, farewell.